Derry, New Hampshire. Derry, New Hampshire, where Trump spoke, I guess last night or night before last. Yeah, was it? Shit. Yeah, it was last night. And by the way, things are going fabulous for Donald Trump. And we're not going to watch all of this because what a fucking waste of time. But we'll dip into it. Plus, we got to stand here and watch. Look at his face. The reason I wanted to dip into some of this was look at his fucking face during all of this stuff. This man is a mess. Oh, he had a blood clot in his leg. He had like deep vein thrombosis. Is that why Michael Cohen couldn't be there? Fascinating. All right. And imagine what this asshole's going through. Yeah. So here we go. This is Trump. By the way, just standing there like an asshole during the whole song. Just from the bed to doobie skiboo. Thank you, hey. Thank you. People want a picture. They want a picture of me. Hey, there's people. Hi, fake news. Big crowd. I said, hey, big crowd. Big crowd. That's the same people. Yeah, they're not even from New Hampshire. They can't. Thanks, Momed and you, for gifting the subs. Appreciate that. Try to stand here like you're getting another mugshot. This is all a mugshot redo. Think of all the selfies. Make the people happy. This is just stand here and don't waddle too much. God damn it, they always tell me I'm waddling again. I'm waddling. Stop waddling. God damn it. They can hear my voice inside me. Thank you. Hey, you're waddling too. We're all, hey, squirt, squirt. Yeah, jack you off right on my tie. You, squirt, squirt right on my chin. That's right. Fart. That's when he farts, he moves his jacket. And I'll stand here because I don't know how long the fucking song is. And they love it. They love it when I just, stand here. Thank you. Standing for the song. And I stand here for the whole, and then I move slowly to the microphone. Just like Hitler would if Hitler liked Lee Greenwood. Just like Hitler would Lee Greenwood. Jesus Christ.
Thank you very much. Wow. That's a big crowd.
Especially compared to the last few I've had.
That's a big crowd. Listen to that.
Listen to that. Oh, so they have speakers playing loud crowd noises?
They want change.
They do. They want change. And I'm here for all their change. Please, we're going to pass a bucket around.
They want change.
That's a recording.
No,
not really. No.
Thank you very much.
Nah, thank you very much. Nah, thank you very much. Jesus Christ.
I appreciate it.
Nah, thank you. Thanks. Nah, thanks for the USA thing. I don't even know if I like America anymore. It was if you really think about it, America was always a Democrat who just got me coffee. I don't even know them.
We've had a tremendous relationship with New Hampshire. It's just been incredible. And
yes, I grabbed New Hampshire by the pussy and never let go.
You want change. That's what this is about.
That's it. It says it on my remarks.
We got to get this.
We got to get some change or whatever because I'm broke.
Government straighten out. There's never been anything like this. But I just want to say hello to everybody. It's a very special group. We've had a special relationship with your state, and I'm pleased to report that I've just come from the New Hampshire Secretary of State's office, where I officially filed for the first in the nation primary. First in the nation.
Even though I told Iowa you'd be first, you're the first primary, they're the first caucus primary. I don't know the difference. I just know there's a lot of yelling. Either way, none of you are going to vote. Doesn't matter.
Great honor.
Great honor to file the necessary paperwork that everyone has to file. It's a great honor to file paperwork.
And you know who kept you first in the nation, right?
The Republican Party.
There were some evil forces out there. A lot of evil forces.
Yeah, we're surrounded by evil forces. There's Rhoda and Mitt Romney, and
around lately. And
there are. I gotta say, there are a lot of evil forces around lately.
they didn't want you to stay there, and I said, "There's no way we're moving. We don't have the courage to make that move. I don't have that courage. I'd never do that." I said,
Oh God. So you're saying it would take courage to move New Hampshire because it would benefit you, but you're too much of a chicken shit. So you're just gonna suck it up and just Freudian splurt all over everyone.
said I would not do it, and I didn't do it. You're first in the nation. Congratulations.
And I almost did it because everyone was telling me I should do it because,
Our victory here in 2016 rocketed us to the Republican nomination, and New Hampshire will always have
New Hampshire? Okay.
a very special place in our heart, and I have to
In our collective heart. We all have one heart, and we all share it.
say we also did very, very well in 2020, and we did much better in the general election than we did in 2016. We got
Except the whole losing part.
close to 12 million more votes. 12 million more votes. You know what happened there, right?
Yes, Biden still beat you by like 8 million more votes because mail-in voting made more people vote, and COVID, you benefited from it as much as you ultimately lost.
They say, "How did you do in 2020?" I did a lot better than we did in 2016. We're not going to let that happen. We got to
You're right. We're not going to let that happen. You are not going to do as well as you did in either of those years.
be very vigilant. Less than 4 months from now, we're going to win the New Hampshire primary, and
No one's going to give a shit.
third straight time. And we're going to we
They didn't have a third straight time. They didn't have primary in 2020, did he? The shit.
are going to defeat crooked Joe Biden. He's a crooked guy.
He's very crooked.
Next November.
Nice America.
And very simply, we're going to make America great again.
Look at his face. He's so disappointed. He's so, I gotta say, think about it for just 1 second. You're a political candidate, and you've got I've got a crowd of people, relatively a relatively large crowd, not compared to your old crowds, but even still, like they're excited. And you're using your catchphrase, and let's just say, for the sake of argument, that you actually believe your catchphrase, that you're going to make America great again, whatever. What's the face you make right after you say, we're going to make America great again? You would smile probably with your eyes and everything, so everybody would know you weren't bullshitting. Look at his fucking face. We're going to make America great again. This bullshit.
Not great right now. Not great. We're laughed at all over the world. All over the world we're laughed at. I want to thank my New Hampshire
Well, he is, and his followers are.
senior advisor. Has been with me right from the beginning. He's been an incredible guy. Steve Stepanek. Where's Steve? Steve, wherever you may be, there he is. Thank you, Steve. Great job. He's always working.
He's always working. I barely see him.
Our New Hampshire coach
If he turned state's evidence, I never knew him. You heard it here first.
chairs Bruce Breton and Lou Gargiulo.
Glue Gargiulo.
Lou, thank you. Bruce, thank you very much. Great guy.
Jar of glue go. Jar Glar glue. Greg Giraldo. Didn't he die? I miss him.
It's great people.
Great.
Hillsborough County Attorney John Coughlin. Thank you, John. A man that's been with me really from the beginning. He's the first person with me. He used to tell me, that's right, Corey. He used to tell
Amanda?
me, sir, you're going to win by so much. I put him on about 6 months early. How we doing, Corey? Sir, you're leading in every poll. Even if there was no poll, he'd say that. because he wanted me to run. I said, well, let's take a look at it, Corey. Let's just take a look. Sir, you do it every day. He'd come in. Sir, you're winning. You're killing everybody. How do you know, Corey? Oh, it tells you everyone. I just know, sir.
And then he lost in 2020 and still.
And he was there right from the beginning, and we had an incredible relationship right up until this day, and it'll be going on for a long time. He's a very special guy, and he loves this state. He loves New Hampshire. He lives here. He loves this state, and I'd like to introduce Corey Lewandowski. Where is Corey? Corey, get over here, Corey. Corey, come up here, Corey. Come here, Corey.
Good. Come on, Corey. Sit, Corey. Roll over, Corey. I never had a pet. Corey's the next best thing. He's like one of those shaved cats.
I gotta get him up.
He's like one of those cats without hair.
Come here, Corey. These people love Corey. This is his place. Come here, Corey. Say something, Corey.
Say something.
How great is Trump? Guys, we won it twice. We got to win it one more time to fix this country. Donald Trump for New Hampshire. Donald Trump for America. Thank you, guys.
Ooh, that was a mistake. Yeah, I would have. I'd rethink bringing him up. Yeah. Just, he sounds a little pushy. That was really good. He yells. He yells a lot. Like you should see him in line at Starbucks. Thanks, Benny Loco.
He didn't know that was going to happen. That was a very good job.
Yeah, he didn't know he was going to have to speak today, and he yelled 3 sentences. It's amazing. Most of my staff cower.
And another one with tremendous spirit. I watched her on television 2 days ago, defending me and fighting for me. Caroline Levitt. Caroline, where are you, Caroline? Hi, sweetheart.
Hey.
Boy, you're doing a job.
You're doing a job. Not a fantastic job, not a tremendous job, not a terrific job. You're just doing a job. It is a job. It's more of a slog, really.
She's doing a job. Oh, I don't want.
Boy, she's doing it. She's not doing it well. But she's doing it, so that's got to count for something.
I want to be against her. I don't want to be against her. That'll never happen. Thank you, Caroline.
Jesus Christ. That's amazing. I wouldn't want to be against her. That'll never
Honorary
happen.
chair of our New Hampshire Veterans for Trump Coalition. You know this man very well, Al Baldessaro. Al, thank you, Al. He loves our vets, and I love our vets, and he makes sure that we take care of them. And we did, like nobody's ever taken care.
Well, except the Obama administration that passed the VA Choice Act of 2014, which this asshole took credit for repeatedly.
You know, the
Oh, dear.
the VA, the Veterans Association, and hospitals, and all of them put together. They have so many different groups. But we got the highest rating that we've ever had. We had a 90.
The government got the highest rating because of the VA Choice Act that Obama passed.
2% rating for approval, job approval, or taking care of our great vets.
Because the bill was passed in 2014, and to the implementation and the timing of it ends up being about 2017, and then he pretends that...
It was a big help, but everyone, the VA, everyone said there's never been anything close. And you look at second place, it was like 51%. Nobody's ever done that job, and
What the fuck? Second place? The fuck?
it's an honor. You have a lot of vets up here. It's an honor to have done it. It's an honor
Done what?
to have done it. We're
Done what?
going to be building a big VA hospital up here, too, which
I'm gonna bribe you guys with a VA hospital. I don't know where that's coming from, but sure.
you don't have. You know, I think you're the only state that doesn't have one. And we had that all set to go, but then we had a little election that...
We had that all set to go. You will hear that phrase a lot. All set to go. We were ready to break ground on a New Hampshire VA hospital. But that fellow went away. Let's see.
Yeah, so, real quick, if I may, New Hampshire has the Manchester VA Medical Center. They have community-based outpatient clinics in multiple places in Conway, Keene, Littleton, Portsmouth, Somersworth, and Tilton. They have vet centers in Auburn, Gorham, Hooksett, Keene, and Portsmouth. They have a regional benefit office in Manchester. And they have an intake site, pre-discharge claims assistance at the Portsmouth Naval Shipyard and Naval Ambulatory Care Center.
It's all set to go, and you guys don't have it fucking anything, and nobody knows anything, and we're fucking just bullshit everybody, and you guys don't even know, because what the fuck do you know? And we were all set to build one, but you already had one, and it was all set to go is just one of the biggest, dumbest lies he tells about everything. He says this about an Iran deal. He meant that, like, the second half of the fucking, like, the wall, we had it done in 3 weeks. We were all set to go. We were all set to go. But then the election happened, and then you still had fucking 2.5 months to be fucking president. That's multiple sets of 2 weeks. Why didn't you just fucking do it then? While your lawyers are fighting the election bullshit all over the place, why the fuck didn't you just finish up what you were going to do? If you were all set to have a deal, you think the Biden administration would kill the plans for a VA hospital that was needed? You out of your fucking mind? Or you just go, fuck New Hampshire, we lost, so the hell with them. Because that's what that means. There's no other way to read this, that he just decided, fuck America if I lose.
Went astray. So we have to be careful. You got to get out there and you got to watch those voters. You don't have to vote. Don't worry about voting.
What? All right, dum-dum. You don't have to worry about voting. Hi, ladies and gentlemen, if I may. Ladies and gentlemen, my name's Hal Sparks, and I'm a Democrat. And I say to my friends out there, you don't have to worry about voting. Just fucking do it. Vote. Vote. If you're a Democrat, you fucking vote. You vote every 2 years on the minimum, and more if there's a special election. You fucking vote. You don't let a vote pass by. You don't waste your fucking vote. You don't piss away your vote. You don't give the mandate away. You don't give the edge in any district to this fucking moron and his buddies. You fucking vote. You don't have to worry while you do it. You just got to do it. As a matter of fact, when you vote, you worry a lot less. Meanwhile, this motherfucker is trying to convince his dunderhead followers that they don't have to vote. Nah, don't even. Because he knows he's going to lose. He's already seen the numbers. He knows he's going to lose the general. So he's already making the case that the reason he is so fucking outnumbered in the voting booth next year is because, they're throwing all these votes in there just to steal the election. That's what he's doing. Good Lord.
The voting, we got plenty of votes. You got to watch.
You got plenty of votes. We don't need your vote. New Hampshire. Fuck you. Hold on.
Election night, it used to be election day, election night. Now it's election month. Now it's election period. Some of these things going for 53 days.
So what? Okay, by the way, there's a direct reason why these motherfuckers don't like, especially Trump, but all Republicans don't like early voting and all this other stuff. One, more people are included and can vote. And two, it undermines the value of the October surprise. They're still pissed that the October surprise, the fake laptop story, didn't kill Biden's chances. They were burying that. They had Rudy Giuliani had that hard drive in his fucking sweaty, farty, shitty palm in 2019. But they withheld all this stuff and kept it because they wanted to drop it in October, because by the time people sniffed out the fact, and I do mean sniffed out, the fact that it was bullshit, it would be after the election. That's what an October surprise is for. You drop these stories close to the election in a window where by the time people have had a chance to, and that's why I didn't even hand a copy of it to even the New York Post. They had to come and get pieces of it from him. It's because if you got to look at it, you go, oh, this is horseshit. Can we talk about Cornel West? Why? It's not going to matter. He's not going to take any votes from anybody.
It's terrible. We want to
He's just kind of being an asshole.
bring it back. Same day voting, paper ballots, right? Voter ID. Voter ID. Let me see. Here it is. Voter ID.
Somebody's holding the cane up. Are they giving him the hook already?
But today I'm very pleased to receive the endorsement of a very special person, Belknap County Sheriff Bill Wright.
Not Bill Wright, the Belknap County Sheriff? Oh, shit. All Biden's got is the United Auto Workers and IATSE and basically every blue-collar worker in the fucking country.
Thank you, Bill. Where's Bill? Where?
He's out pulling over people for speeding. It's near the end of the month, so they got a quota.
Where's Bill? Thank you, Bill.
Yes, he gave you his ringing endorsement. That doesn't mean he has to be there, does it?
Thank you very much, Bill. That's a big endorsement. We have the law enforcement endorsements. They're all over. They're all over. We love.
They're all over. They're everybody. We got everybody. We've got the Shire Reeve.
Law enforcement. They're greatly respected. They don't know that.
They don't know they're greatly respected?
But they are greatly respected by the people, by the real people.
The real people, not the imaginary people, the ones in my head.
Greatly respected. Thank you.
Greatly respected. The people who endorse me are greatly respected. If they don't endorse me, I don't like them. Like the FBI.
Thank you
Like anybody who's seen the evidence against me.
very much, Bill. Appreciate it.
I'll just look over there as if he's there. It's dark.
4 days ago, crooked Joe Biden gave one of the most dangerous and deluded speeches ever delivered from the Oval Office. It was disaster.
Was it dangerous and deluded and disaster? It was the 3 Ds.
Not only presentation, which wasn't too good, it's the words that were really bad. Less than 1 week after, innocent men, women, children, and babies were kidnapped, raped, tortured, slaughtered in the worst terror attack in Israeli history. It was the worst in their history, actually.
It was actually, many people don't know that.
Babies, I guess they said 42 babies with their heads chopped off. Think of that one.
Okay, first of all, Biden mentioned that as well. There's been some back and forth about whether or not they were decapitated. They were chopped up. The mincing words about whether or not these children were specifically decapitated versus just hacked is it's a distinction without a difference, I would make, and a lot of people who are falling back going, no, they weren't decapitated. They were just all killed with machetes. All right, simmer the fuck down. Secondly, this asshole's fallback is never would have happened.
They don't even want to talk about it.
They did talk about it. He literally talked about it.
Crooked Joe went before the American people and said that if you want to support Israel, then you have to give a blank check for the proxy war also in Ukraine having to do with
the proxy war. Oh, he's calling it a proxy war now. He's going full Jackson Hinkle.
Russia and Ukraine, which is another one. By the way, it would have never happened if we were president. If we didn't have that election, you wouldn't have that. You wouldn't have it.
Yeah, you're right. They would have just fallen in 6 days, like Putin had planned. There wouldn't be a war. It would have just been an attack, and it would have been over.
Inflation, you wouldn't have had the attack on Israel. You wouldn't have had a lot of the horrible things. The world is exploding. If you take a look.
Should Hillary Clinton come out and say if she'd have been elected, there wouldn't have been COVID, for example? I mean, it's the largest number of American deaths, on American soil since the Civil War.
Look, I mean, the whole world is exploding. I was very honored as a man. Viktor Orban. Did anyone ever hear of him? He's probably like one of the strongest leaders anywhere in the world.
Jesus Christ, Orban?
He's the leader of, right? He's the leader of Turkey. Fronts on both Russia. Yeah, you could sit down. We'll be here for.
Viktor Orban, hold on, is, where you go? This guy, get out of here. Viktor Orban is the head of Hungary. That's Viktor Orban. Erdogan is Turkey. Prime Minister of Hungary.
He's a good friend of mine. He's very respected. He runs that country with the thing and the who, with the people. What?
For a little, we got plenty of time. What the hell?
Yeah.
I'm very honored that you're all standing, but sit down. They'll be standing in a
Yeah, you don't want to stand while I fuck up countries.
couple of minutes as soon as we say some of the things they like, because they're waiting. They're waiting for that. But Viktor Orban.
Yeah, where's he from again?
And he's the head of Hungary, and he runs
Oh, good. There he goes. He finally got it right.
it tough. Let me tell you, he runs it properly. He runs it strong
He runs it properly. He runs it strong.
with crime and everything else. He runs it.
He runs it strong with crime. Oh, they are the best words. Yeah. It's not the best order. It's not the best syntax. He runs it strong with crime.
It strong, and he doesn't let terrorists into his country. They said, what do you recommend for Joe Biden if you could tell him anything? I'd tell him to resign and let Trump become president, because nobody ran China, Russia, North Korea. Nobody ever did a job like Trump did a job. I'd
On their behalf.
tell him to get out, let Trump run things like he was doing for 4 years. Little truth.
Little truth, little bit, little kinda. Sorry I fucked up his country for a second there. I thought he was Erdogan, Orban, Erdogan. I mean, these guys, their names that start with O's. It's like Obama.
Little truth to that, maybe a lot of truth to that.
Maybe a middle amount, who could say?
Biden said that if you want to stop terrorists, then you have to give him billions of dollars to support illegal aliens invading the United States. You know,
Is that? I mean, I didn't hear the exact wording, but that seems like a very strong ask. Yeah. So just support those folks coming in. What are we gonna? We'd have to buy them all a gun, or? I'm kidding. It's Texas. They pass out guns.
many of the people coming in, you notice there are so many young men, young, strong men.
I don't know. I didn't really notice. They, they're reasonable size or whatever. But you're saying they're sweaty, like convulsing with muscles. I mean, good on you for noticing. And being man enough to admit it.
And they're coming in from areas that are right now.
Brown. They're very brown. Are they brownish? They're full of brown.
In war. A lot of
In war. Jesus Christ. Where the fuck did he learn to speak?
In war and strong with crime. They are great with child.
in different areas. We have a lot of wars going on all over. So we had no wars. We beat ISIS, 100% of ISIS.
When we didn't even use any war to do it, we beat them at a good game of Uno.
You know what we did?
Well, you know what we did? We bombed the shit out of them, civilians and all. But that wasn't war. That was fun.
But we have a lot of different spaces. You could very much end up in World War III because we have an incompetent president. You know, the United States has such a tremendous influence on what's going on in the world, and a lot of people didn't realize it until lately. Yeah.
We didn't? Really? The United States, you see, it has an impact, yeah, on the world. And so that when we pull out of places and we don't interact or we cut off foreign aid and those guys, you're saying there's a cascading effect that's negative? Shit, I've never. Has anybody heard that? That seems crazy to me.
You have to be respected as a country, maybe feared, but really respected. You have to be, at a minimum, respected.
I call it fear-spect. It's a word, it's a combination. It's the two best parts. F-E-A-R-E-C-P-T. You find out what it means to me. F-E-A-R-E-C-P-T. Find out what it means.
Joe Biden's speech was a grotesque betrayal of Israel and a confused mess of neocon warmongering.
Warmongering. He's getting talking points straight from Solovyev.
An American last lunacy.
American last?
They want America.
American last? You mean America last?
America last, ladies and gentlemen. Pushing conflict abroad and distracting from his many disasters at home. I mean, look at home. Look at
home. Home. I mean, I don't have one right now. I live in a rental property. But if you have a home, what's your home like? It's probably shit. You people are poor. Look at these dummies. Oh my God, you're like rural New Hampshireites. You probably all live in trailers. It's disgusting.
Look at what's going on, and you haven't even seen them.
No, you haven't even seen problems like yet.
They've allowed, I believe, 15 million people into the country from all of these different places like jails, mental institutions. And wait till you see what's going to happen with
Oh boy, it's not happened yet, but here it comes.
all those people.
Oh boy.
Well, they're not coming
If anything happens when I'm president, you know when it all started. It wasn't my fault.
in just because they like our weather. They like our weather. They're coming in for a lot of bad reasons.
They coming in for a lot of bad reasons. All right.
It's Crooked Joe. Kenny.
By the way, you're watching Housemarks Mega Worldwide. It's a special Tuesday edition because I got sound check at 4 o'clock and I got to do an afternoon show. So hi, how are you? Like, subscribe, give a thumbs up, support the show, share the show, etc., 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 etc.
Even walk up the children's stairs in Air Force One, you know? Now, doesn't that look terrible? You see a man come at you, want to see a man walk out, or woman, walk off Air Force One, nice and high, wave to everybody. This guy goes through the little stairs. We call them the children's stairs.
He took them all the time, by the way.
And now he's made it a common practice because he can't quite make it up or down. I think he has a bigger time making it up. Usually it's supposed to be easier. I don't know. Let's not even think about it.
What?
Or find his way.
I think, the audience thinks that's a sexual innuendo. He's just telling you how concerned he is with falling downstairs like Tommy Tuberville did. And also, anyways, how about ramps? How do you feel about ramps? Mildly graded ramps. How do you... Yeah? Feel okay about ramps? Maybe?
Off a stage. He can't find his way off a stage. You ever see makes a speech, if you call it that. Okay, thank you. And they're screaming at him. They're saying, no, you got there, you got...
Look at his face. Does this look like the face of a man who is dunking on his opponent right now, or a man who feels trapped by the fact that he knows he's getting his ass kicked by someone that he is portraying as doddering and old? Meanwhile, again, at every single one of these events, Joe Biden has friends. Trump doesn't have any. So there's no, and certainly none that he wants to talk to. He recognizes people, and he's got people who are sycophants, but he doesn't want to go anywhere near them. Biden's like, hey, man, how you doing? I'll go, all right, I'm going to go this way. I'll see you back there. Like that kind of shit. And then they cut around it, and people like Joe Rogan push clips of this bullshit out of context on purpose to make it look worse because it's easier than competing with the ideas.
And he can make a bad speech, but you got to be able to see, you know, you came in here. I can even go out there. I see there's an exit there, exit here. You got exits all over.
He's nervous about it. This is Trump's concern.
It's unbelievable. And this guy's in charge of the most dangerous time in our history. He's in charge of it. And
I feel a lot better.
The weaponry is so massive and so powerful that this
You do realize the president doesn't have to physically carry it, right? Roosevelt was in a wheelchair.
This won't be World War II or World War I with army tanks running around shooting at each other. World War III will be an obliteration. It'll be something like nobody's ever seen before. And
well, then it'll be over quickly and we won't know it anyways. But also, there are tanks rolling around and troops. It is very much World War II level shit.
We have a man that's not capable. He's not capable. They're really good at cheating on elections, but that's not him. That's a whole group of radical left lunatics. To every American.
Then why if the radical left, as he calls them, are so great at cheating in elections, and they're the people doing it, why the fuck did they elect Biden? I like Biden. My politics are much more aligned with Biden's than any of the other people that were running last time. I like the dude. I voted for him happily. But the far left didn't. If any of them did, they did it holding their fucking nose. Some of them learned their lesson from the fuck around during, where they didn't vote for Hillary Clinton and handed 3 states to this motherfucker. I'm dead serious. Like, if the far left lunatics are great at electing people, Jesus Christ, it'd be Bernie Sanders and fucking Jimmy Dore.
Who's terrified that Crooked Joe's weakness will cause catastrophic global conflict. Excuse me, it already is. I make this promise to you as president. I will restore peace through strength, and we will stop World War III.
How? What the fuck are you talking about? By the way, you wouldn't even be president if you won, which you're not going to until January of 2025, motherfucker. How long are we going to stay on the brink of World War III with all this shit that's going on? We either in it or we ain't.
We will not have World War III.
I agree. We will not. We'll just have a bunch of countries fighting like we've had.
And I know all the players. I know them all. I know them all.
Yes, you owe them all money.
Because it was Joe Biden with his weakness and what he did with Iran and others.
Iran and others, he means Afghanistan.
That caused the attack on Israel. That's very simple. They would have never attacked. They would have never.
They planned the attack right around the time Trump gave the Golan Heights and moved the embassy and called Jerusalem the capital of Israel. When he did that shit, that's when this plan started.
Never attacked Israel. Never. Russia would have never attacked Ukraine. You wouldn't have inflation. You wouldn't have any inflation.
Well, that's partially true because we would have never gotten out of COVID, and the inflation was due to the shift in supply chains because he would have continued to support Chinese hegemony in the South China Seas as he did by scuttling the TPP.
Right now, it was energy that went up like skyrocketed. He stopped it. Just no more. Let's have everything. Thank you. He sounds like a good candidate. Who said that? Who said that? Stand up. Let me see. He's a real man. He's a real man. Unlike Joe Biden, I will stand with our friend and ally, the State of Israel, 100%. We'll stand with them 100%. And unlike Crooked Joe, I will fully support Israel's mission of ensuring that the terrorist group Hamas is defeated, dismantled, and permanently destroyed. They have to destroy them.
They have to destroy him. And if it requires them destroying all the Palestinians at the same time, which would create a new version of Hamas, we got to do that.
And they have to be careful in their type of attack.
Okay, they have to. This is great. Okay, oh, great military leader, explain to us. They have to be careful in their type of attack. Yes? Go on.
Going in is a lot of risks to that with the mines that are put all over the place in the tunnels probably. You know, bad things can happen. There's
Jesus Christ. They have to go in there because the tunnels might be mined. They have to be careful when they're going on there because there's mines all over the place in the tunnels. Have you called them and told them this? I don't know if they're gonna. So they've mined their own tunnels all over the place. All of the there's nowhere you can step in those tunnels that aren't mined. Shit. Does Hamas know? They probably got blown up.
There's other ways of doing it also, but
yeah, there's other ways of doing it. Like what? Fuck, this is dumb.
They know what they're doing and they have to do it right, but they have to be tough.
They know what they're doing and they have to do it right, but they have to be tough, but they gotta. Jesus, this is. Thanks, chump.
They have to win. They have no choice. They have to win.
They got to win. They can't choose. They can't lose. Losing is not a choice. Loss is not an option.
Even as Biden was speaking, Iranian proxies were attacking U.S. military assets in the region. As he's speaking, they're actually shooting into our different military bases.
Is this what happened?
Forts.
Forts? Okay. Hold on. I'm pretty sure he's referring to them firing at boats, but okay. Let's see. It was Iran. Whoops. Fire on U.S. Yeah, there we go. This is the Iran proxies. 2 U.S. military bases in Syria have been targeted in drone attacks, suggesting Iran's proxies are becoming more emboldened. Both Lebanon's Iran-aligned Al Mayadeen TV and IRGC affiliate Fars report news that the U.S. has not yet made official comment on the incidents. They got no direct orders from Iran. They didn't need them. They're just acting on behalf of of Hamas. They're taking their cues from Hamas. Yemen, the Houthis fired a missile and towards Israel, and we shot it down. The Al-Tan face is notably significant for American forces in southeastern Syria and is situated in the triangular border area. Hold on. Okay. While a missile attack targeted the Conoco base in the northern the Conoco base, which is of course the oil company in northern Deir al-Zor region. However, no additional details have been provided. Yeah, this is just local dudes. I'll show you. There's a picture of Houthi fighters. Let me bring this in real quick. These guys don't need Iran telling them. They see on social media that Hamas did this attack, and they're just like, it's time! And then they fire, and then they get... the fire gets returned, and they get killed. So, that's what happened. This happened all during, Trump's time in office in Syria anyways.
They're shooting in missiles, and we're saying, like, oh, it's okay, just another day. It's not another day. You remember when I did something to Iran and they shot missiles? Well, those are typically very accurate missiles, but did you notice every single one of them missed, right? I wonder why they missed. I wonder why they missed. They went at a certain base that we had, a lot of people in that base, but they all...
Hey, asshole, maybe don't give away the fact that the Americans have some repulsor guidance scramblers, fuckwad. Maybe, all right.
Landed a little outside the base. I wonder why. Someday you're going to think about that. Then you're going to think about, did we know they weren't going to hit the base too?
I don't know. I didn't do any of the reading. I don't know whether they missed on purpose or missed on accident or we made them miss or we didn't care or we're supposed to not care. I did none of the reading, honestly.
But they didn't hit us. They needed some kind of reply, I guess, but they didn't hit us. Crooked Joe is not feared, he's not respected, and he's regarded by our enemies as a joke. They don't even believe it. When I'm president, America will be respected again like never before, just like never before. And
the mythology part of it, his fans do respond to this idea that everything will just be fine if I'm back in there. You can tell when he's in front of a big QAnon-style crowd. This is the cult reaction.
Our enemies will know that if they harm a single American, we will hit them faster and harder than they've ever been hit before.
So, what did we do to North Korea then for Otto? Because they hit him. They hit him a lot.
In addition, upon my...
Also, so you would have bombed Russia over Brittany Griner?
My inauguration, and it's our inauguration, I call it. Our. It's not mine, it's our. We have to bring our country back. It's not
It's not. It was me before, but then I lost, and now it's your fault I lost. And if I lose, it's not me losing, it's you losing.
An easy thing to do. Would you believe what's happened to the USA in the last 3 years?
Yeah, you mean we got an infrastructure bill and we have 9 new chip factories, and in spite of even rising interest rates, the economy continues to expand, and we have the lowest unemployment we've had and the longest stretch of low unemployment we've had in 50 years, and rural broadband, and Formula One's coming to Vegas. And also turnout at sporting events is higher than it has been since 2014.
But I will immediately reinstate.
Don't get me wrong. Trump supporters are living in their own like mystical shithole in their own heads, where they just look out their window and the world is ass.
State all sanctions on the murderous Iranian regime. You have to do that till we have a deal. If you will not enforce sanctions against Iran, then you do not stand with Israel. It's that simple. It's all about Iran. It's not about these others. It's all about Iran.
These others, who would they be?
They know everything.
Say their names.
You know, hummus, don't like it. Bean dip gives me the rumbly and the tumblies. I don't like hummus. I do like paste as a general. I used to eat paste in school, but mostly hummus.
Thing that's going on. They probably laid out the game plan. And
wait, what?
Israel, it's that simple. It's all about Iran. It's
it
not
is.
About these others. It's all about Iran. They know everything that's going on. They probably laid out the game plan. And Joe Biden won't do it. I wonder how much money he's receiving from Iran, do you think? Gets a lot from China. That we know. But
Oh, yeah? More than the $15 million you got in one fell swoop? Again, gibberish.
I will do it. When I came into office, Iran had $70 billion in foreign exchange reserves. It was loaded up with money. That's from Obama. Its piggy bank was full, and it was also full of terrorists.
The piggy bank was full of terrorists?
By the time I left,
It's an evil piggy bank. That's a scary piggy bank.
they had nothing. They were broke.
No, they weren't.
Broke. The Iranian regime could
And because you had broken the Iran deal, they went back to making a nuclear weapon.
barely afford to turn out the lights.
One more time.
They had nothing. They were broke. They were broke. The Iranian regime could barely afford to turn out the lights, and we had a
They were so poor, they couldn't afford to make it dark at night.
a lot of interesting discussions.
Yeah, a lot of interesting discussions. How do we make it dark at night? We can't even afford to make the moon go away now.
We would have had a deal with Iran, one that was good for everybody,
Yeah, we were so close. We were all set to go.
one that was good for them. They might have
Why? One that is good for them would mean the destruction of Israel, dumb fuck.
not have known it at the time, but it
They wouldn't have known it was good for them, but they would have understood that it was good for them.
would have been good for them. But that not give them access, we cannot give them access to nuclear weapons. We would have had a deal within 1 week after the election. I believe that. I believe that.
Then why didn't you? 1 week after the election. What stopped it?
They were ready to make a deal because they were so, they were poor.
They were poor, just like I like most people.
Actually poor. China, I said, if you buy, you're not going to deal with the United States, so we're going to tariff you at a level of about 100% on everything you do sell in. I said that to India, too. I said it to other nations, and they weren't buying oil from Iran at all. They weren't buying any oil.
Yes, they were.
And Iran was not doing well, and the 70 billion that they had was actually, I think, closer to 100 billion. It disappeared very rapidly. And if you know,
Would they spend it on food and stuff?
notice all of the problems, all of the big problems, they all stopped. And I never talked about it during my 4 years, but look what happened. We didn't have any attacks in the United States for 4 years. I never wanted.
Yes, we did. They were just domestic terrorists. And also, we haven't had any with Biden.
I never wanted to say it.
The fuck? You think he'll cop to that next year?
During, because I say, I can't say it. I wanted to for 2 years. I wanted to say, look how good things are. We had the ban.
But I didn't know because I wasn't paying attention, so it might have happened.
And we had the whole thing banned. They said, oh, that's such a terrible thing, a ban from horrendous, dangerous nations. We had a ban. I think that's okay. But we didn't have an attack for 4 years. About 2 days after I left, I said, how good did we do? We did great. We did great because we were respected and probably feared.
Yeah. What was the big Obama foreign attack? 8 years he got through? The fuck are you talking about?
But the election.
Oh, besides the fact that apparently China attacked us with a bioweapon, according to this dickhead, and he sold him the largest order of beef, pork, corn, and soybeans in our history in response.
It was rigged and it was stolen, and sadly, Crooked Joe surrendered my tough sanctions immediately to Iran. And now, once again, Iran probably has close to $100 billion.
Yeah, just say it. Close to $100 billion. No, they don't.
To finance terror.
Also, this attack didn't cost anything.
And Israel's paying a big price.
No, they aren't. They did. Hamas doesn't have fucking Stinger missiles and Abrams tanks, you dumb fuck. They came in paragliders and rowboats. They had machine guns, Russian machine guns, by the way, Kalashnikovs.
Paying a very big price. Iran is a very rich country right now. When I left, they were broke. They were broke. And they would have made a deal very quickly, but now.
Again, why? Why didn't they make the deal? Why didn't you go, oh shit, the election's come up. You know what? We should make a deal with Iran. We could sell that. Look how we solved it. We got an Iran deal before the election. We were able to nail it. It only took a week.
Now they're very rich, and I think it's very hard to make a deal. The minute I'm back in the White House, not only will I impose the most crippling sanctions in history, we will also unleash the most powerful economic weapon. We will drill, baby, drill. Drill, baby, drill.
He's just stealing Sarah Palin's line. That's how bad this has gotten. Like he and act like he invented it. Also, hold on, real quick. I mean, I like this. We covered this shit so much, but like, U.S. Petroleum production. 23. See if I can shrink this down. Control my. Get in here, you stupid. Why did you try to? Why would you? I hate when the IEA does this. All right, hold on. Well, you know what? Fuck it. Hold on. I'll bring it over to his screen. Screw it. There you go. EIA expects new milestones for U.S. Crude oil production and amid sustained global petroleum demand and rising prices. U.S. Energy Information Administration expects U.S. crude oil production to surpass 12.9 million barrels per day for the first time in late 2023 and to exceed 13 million barrels per day in early 2024. In its August short-term energy outlook, EIA forecast U.S. crude oil production average of 12.8 million barrels per day in 2023, which is 200,000 more barrels per day than its July forecast. EIA expects sustained global demand for petroleum products and Saudi Arabia's extended voluntary production cuts will contribute to oil prices rising through the barrel oil price $70 a barrel beginning in July or increase through the month. We forecast continued growth in domestic oil production, which is bolstered by higher oil prices and higher well productivity in the in the near term. EIA forecasts U.S. regular gasoline prices will average about $3.63 per gallon for the rest of 2023, an increase from its previous forecast of $3.27. High prices largely a result of higher crude oil prices and a series of unplanned U.S. refinery outages so far this summer. Again, these are not unplanned U.S. refinery outages this summer. This is people trying to, in the oil business, trying to raise the price of oil. Go back to here. Excuse me one second. Shrink this down. Go back to here. Let's see. This is Today in Energy. The important thing, by the way, is that we transition to renewables. But I just want to point out just how blazingly full of shit Donald Trump is. U.S. crude oil exports reach a record high in the first half of 2023. Here's 2018, 2019, 2020 goes down. 2021, 2022. Look at 2023. Look at that little guy right there. Yep, the June average is at 4+ million barrels per day in exports. U.S. crude oil exports in the first half of 2023 averaged 3.99 million barrels per day, BD, which is a record high for the first half of the year since 2015, when the U.S. ban on most crude oil exports from the United States was repealed. In the first half of 2023, wait, who repealed in 2015 the crude oil export? I forget who was president then. First half of 2023, crude oil exports were up 650,000 barrels per day, 19% compared to the first half of 2022. That is that is higher than the output during the entirety of the Trump administration when he was touting $1.89 gas and all that shit. Just saying. Motherfucker doesn't know what he's talking about.
Most powerful weapon. Can you believe what we're doing with the electric cars? All electric. Nobody wants them. Oh, we want all electric. Darling, I'd love to drive to New Jersey, but the car won't go that far. I don't want to
From New Hampshire to New Jersey, you can drive in an electric car.
stop. I don't want to stop 7 times, darling. Remember the...
How the fuck? What? How does he think this shit works? This reminds me of that moment when George H.W. Bush went to a grocery store during the re-election campaign when he was against Bill Clinton, and he'd never seen the lasers that, you know, that track the UPC symbol that you could, you know, when you're at checkout. Like, he'd never seen one of those before because he's fucking been a rich asshole for so long. This is the same thing. He's still talking about electric cars like it's fucking 1996.
The old days when we had those old-fashioned cars that would just drive you to New Jersey and back on a tank of gas. It's nothing like the modern times when we have to stop 7 times to get a charge. Under the Trump administration,
Jesus Christ. Like, how does he think this shit works?
we had energy independence, and soon we would have been energy dominant. We were going to be selling our energy to...
By the way, the only way we will become energy dominant is if we no longer use as much gas as we do. We use more than the rest of the world combined. If we cut that in half because of electric cars or hybrids or hydrogen or any other factor, that will allow us to be, quote unquote, energy dominant. We won't need any of this shit.
To Europe instead of Russia, selling it. And we would have been taking in hundreds of billions of dollars. We would have been reducing our debt. We would have gotten our debt, which is tremendous now, tremendous.
Thanks to you, asshole.
Was doing that, and then we got hit with COVID, and we had to do other things. We got hit with COVID at the end.
We got hit with COVID at the end.
We had to do other things. Nobody has ever had an economy, and we did it twice. We did it twice, and actually the second time was really harder because of COVID. We did a great job with that. Never got the credit from the fake news, but we did a great job. We handed him something that was...
By the way, he points to the quote-unquote fake news, which is not. It's fucking his own campaign cameras back there. We know this. But he does this because on some of the things he points at the fake news, we don't get credit for the fake news, is because some people in the audience don't like it either. And he wants to align them with the news.
It was very good. And I got the price of oil below $40 a barrel at some points. Think of it.
Yeah, how'd you do that? Oh, by contributing to the entire lockdown of the earth and shutting down the largest economy on the planet.
gutting Iran's ability to finance war and terror. And likewise, Russia. Russia wouldn't have been able to prosecute the war against Ukraine at $40, but at $100 and $115, and now it looks like we're going up to records.
No, we're not.
With Biden, the price of oil is nearing $100 a barrel.
No, it isn't.
It's going to be much higher than that
Sure. Well, let me know when it is.
soon. And they have all the money they want, so these people...
What? And you know, it's the only reason the price did go up for a short term was because your buddies, the Saudis, intentionally lowered output. You've been in contact with them. Maybe you could talk to them about reversing that and lowering the price so that you could help America. You right? You know those guys personally. You got them on speed dial.
These people that like to fight wars that have oil are making a fortune. Nobody's ever made a fortune fighting a war, but they're making a fortune.
What? Nobody's ever made a fortune fighting a war? It's only the purpose behind most wars.
Far more than anybody has ever made.
Not the fighting of it, but the getting of it from it. Whatever.
Before as a country. And they pay the radical Islamic thugs as much money as they want because they have so much money. Crooked Joe surrendered our energy.
Well, then why did those guys have to use, like, secondhand Kalashnikovs, homemade rockets, and fucking paragliders? If they... You don't think the... I thought there were a bunch of, like, loose javelins. Wasn't all the... According to Marjorie Taylor Greene, all the military aid we've been given to Ukraine has ended up on the black market, and it's ending up in the hands of terrorists. How come these motherfuckers didn't have any of it? How come all their shit is Russian? I thought the U.S. stuff that was, we're not even keeping track, right? All the stuff that's going to Ukraine, we don't know what's happening to that. It's all ended up in the hands of terrorists. Shit, even the stuff that was supposedly the $85 billion left behind, right, in Afghanistan. It's on it's the biggest, military market in the world. Why the fuck aren't those arms in the hands of Hamas or even the Syrian guys or any of that? How come? How come they're all firing Kalashnikovs? How come they're all using Russian weapons? If our shit's just being dumped all over the place, explain yourself.
Energy independence, and he made Iran rich again, really rich and
Super rich. So rich that I'm jealous. That $6 billion is almost how much I pretend to be worth.
he made America very poor. We're a very poor nation.
No, we are not.
We owe $35 trillion.
Motherfucker, a third of that is you.
We're very poor.
No, we're not.
And he used the
We're the biggest economy on the fucking planet.
reserves, our strategic reserves. He took it out so that he could have lower gasoline prices for cars. It wasn't meant for, politics. It was meant for wars.
There's wars going on. You just told us that we're on the brink of World War... Maybe you just did it because we're on the brink of World War III and you just want to use it before we're all nuked to death.
And we're now at the lowest level in our strategic reserves in the history. In history, nobody's ever remembered. We're down at the bottom. We've never been at a level
We're down at the bottom.
like that. I poured in a lot. In fact, if it wasn't for Congress, we would have had... I had a deal to buy it for $25 a barrel.
And they wanted to buy it for negative $25 a barrel, and you wanted to wait.
And even lower than that. But we bought a lot, and we got it at great prices.
Because no one was going anywhere, and the entire world was shut down, and people were paying to get rid of oil, and you still waited to pay more than market price for it?
And it wasn't for the Democrats, we would have had that whole thing filled up at about $25 a barrel, but they thought, oh, you shouldn't do that. We need that for war.
Uh-huh. Because of all of our diesel trucks.
We need that for security, not for cars going back and forth so that you vote for somebody because the oil price is 10 cents less. That's not the reason. He attacked American energy while he unleashed Iranian energy. Look what he did with Venezuela. Remember?
Remember? Hey!
Venezuela.
Why'd somebody just yell, hey? Was Debbie D'Souza's brother there?
Take a look at that. Ah, so am I right? Am I right?
No. That guy's like, I'm from Venezuela!
Venezuela, we would have had something done with Venezuela. You could have gone back there. Now you can't.
You could have gone back there. Why are you here? Your accent scares me.
He's right. Thank you very much. And I didn't put him out there, by the way. He's not a campaign He's not a campaign finance person. But you're right. We're pouring money into Venezuela on.
He means like a campaign plant. Campaign finance person. Fuck me.
Getting tar. They have very heavy tar. It's really tar that you have to burn. And you know where it gets burned? In Houston. It's the only plant, it's the only refinery in the world that can do it because it's very heavy, very dirty. And we're doing.
Well, then how is Venezuela selling crude oil to other countries? How have they managed to do it all these years? What do? Just pour it into the ground and wait?
And we're taking it out of Venezuela instead of under our feet. You know, we have liquid gold under our feet. We have more than any other nation, more than Saudi Arabia, more than Russia, more than anybody. And it's beautiful.
It is. He bathes in it.
Light sweet. Did you ever hear of light sweet? Do you know what that is? Light sweet.
Yeah, taste it. You should eat some. You should eat drink a glass of it to show everybody. You know, kind of like the mayor of Sharktown in Jaws, just going for a swim.
I call it liquid gold, and we have more than anybody. He funded Hamas and Hezbollah. Hezbollah.
Which is, I'm pretty sure that's if Hamas is the bean dip, Hezbollah is all the couscous kind of stuff.
Is now starting, you see, in the north. How about the security person?
The security person. I mean, you can't expect him to know who these people are. It's not like he was president.
Security person.
That security person. Yeah, the security guard.
For Biden.
Yeah, just a security person for Biden.
I hope Hezbollah doesn't attack us from the north, because that's where we're most vulnerable. Can you believe it?
Also, why would he say us?
Following morning, we got attacked from the north.
That was a Israeli person that said that. And they know. Pretty sure Hezbollah knows that their south. Hezbollah knows that their south is Israel's north.
Can you believe the guy he's a national security advisor?
Oh yeah, what's his name?
I hope that Hezbollah doesn't attack Israel from the north, because that's where we're the most vulnerable.
We?
The following morning, they got attacked.
Yeah, Hezbollah hadn't even thought of this. Wait a minute. You're telling me Israel is right fucking there? That Israel has been there the whole fucking time? What? Hello, Akbar. Why don't we jump at it? Attack! Why didn't I? Oh, I feel so stupid after all this time.
But this is what we're dealing with.
Yes. 4 brain cells, and 3 of them are sick.
We're dealing with stupid people.
Oh, yes, we are. We all are. I am, you are, the audience is. We're all dealing with you, and you're a stupid person.
Dealing with stupid people. He funded Hamas, Hezbollah abroad while he launched a war on patriotic citizens.
Yeah, he totally launched a war.
At home. We're at war. Goes after all of us. I mean, he's attacking his political opponent. Nobody ever got indicted as a political opponent. You know, when you're finished.
Well, that's because a lot of them, resigned in disgrace to avoid that part of it and stuff. Although, Hastert, I think, would kind of, he went well beyond the statute of limitations before it ever saw the inside of a courtroom. But then the blackmail part of it, never mind.
President, but we're not finished. By the way, if I was, I probably would be right now having a good time in life. But
No, you wouldn't.
I'm having a good time for a different reason, because we're going to make our country great again. We're going to bring it back.
To the 1930s? Yeah, you can tell by his face. He totally believes what he's saying, and he feels very relaxed, and he's never felt that these words they're truer now than they ever have been. My button's a little slow today.
Crazy.
Here I am. Life is fucked. I'm on my last trophy wife. My diaper is full. I don't like any of you people. Even when I'm winning, I feel like a loser. And I never win.
Thank you, man.
Thanks. Makes me feel a lot better. Yeah. Is that the guy who paid to have lunch with me? Fuck that.
But we'll do the exact opposite. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. The spirit, it's amazing. I was saying coming up, every house has a Trump sign on it, everything. And
yeah, they only drive you by those neighborhoods.
everywhere. In Florida, we left Florida, Iowa, South Carolina, every place we go, the houses, Trump, 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 2024. And I was saying that the spirit right now is greater than it ever was in 2016 or 2020. I mean, 2020 was unbelievable, but they did a lot of bad things, and they used COVID to cheat, and there's a lot of things happened. You know, people couldn't go out. They were afraid to go out.
You do remember who was president during that, right?
A lot of bad things happened.
Yeah, a lot of bad things happened.
The ballots all over the place.
All over the place, there's ballots everywhere. Like, people could vote. People were allowed to vote. People who didn't vote before made it easier for them to vote when we were trying to make it difficult for them to vote.
They had more ballots than they had voters. Little things like that, right?
No, that never happened.
But they used it to cheat, and they're not.
By the way, this motherfucker thinks that the primary ballots and the general election ballots means that everyone got 2 general election ballots. And that sample ballots are real ballots. Even though it says sample ballot across the phone.
They're not going to get away with it this time.
Because there's nothing to get away with.
There's more spirit now than I ever saw in 2020 or 2016.
Yeah, you guys are louder. Smaller, but louder.
You see it here.
Yeah, this very reasonable sized crowd if you were running for comptroller.
And I think the 2 reasons are, number one, you saw the job we did. We had the strongest border in history.
Yes, because of COVID, no one wanted to come in.
He would have, he goes to the beach a lot, right? If he would have gone to the beach and not done anything, he would have the best border. We had the best people. Tom Homan was incredible, right? You know Judd, right? Brandon Judd, he's fantastic. We had the best people.
Judd,
anywhere.
Brandon Judd.
And they're so...
Yeah, you know those people, right? Up here in New Hampshire.
Border Patrol, and by the way, ICE, these are great people. These are people that, I know some people in the front row, they're very tough, but they don't want to do the job that ICE does. They go into a pack of MS-13.
Oh boy, we're going back to this old chestnut.
And they fight. The
MS-13s and they fight.
Fists are flowing, and then 2 minutes later.
The fists are flowing. Be like water, my friend.
They start taking them out, putting them in paddy wagons, and we got them out.
Paddy wagons. I didn't realize I still used paddy wagons. Paddy wagons. Paddy wagons. Motherfucker. He does want to take us back to the 30s. Paddy wagons. Did they take him to the Hooskow? Jesus Christ. Paddy wagons? The fists are flowing, and then they end up in the paddy wagon. Did they fight like this, too? Yeah, put them up, put them up.
Out of our country. But they fight. Who the hell else is going to do that job?
I don't know, other law enforcement, military guys.
And Brandon Judd does a fantastic job with the Border Patrol. So many great people. And they want to fix it. They could have an easier job if they just stand aside and let them all pour in. That's an easier job. They don't want it. They hate what they see coming in, and they hate that our country's gone to hell. They hate it.
Wait, hold on. Are they letting people just go by, or are they not? Because if they're not, and more people are coming in, are they just incompetent, or that they just want to sabotage the country because of sour grapes, because of Donald Trump? Now, between you and I think his whole story is bullshit. But if you take him at his word, what else can you draw but that, according to him, people at the Border Patrol are just letting people from insane asylums and mental institutions, both, and jails and terrorists are just allowed in because fuck Biden. That seems to be the reasoning.
They are really amazing. They're great people. I will shut down Iranian energy, and I'll unlock American energy like never before, and we will once again make the Iranian dictatorship very poor. And we're going to make the American people very rich. Look,
American people are very rich on the world scale, on almost any scale.
Iran was broke when I left.
No, they weren't. He's saying the same shit over and over.
I don't want to use a term like that, but Iran was broke.
Why? What do you think, you're going to get censored for saying broke? You don't want to use a term like that because you're broke.
And now they're rich. Over a 3-year period, they have close to $100 billion. They're rich as hell. That's peanuts.
And by the way, he was always pretending to be rich, and now he's definitely broke. That's why he doesn't like these terms.
Compared to what they need to keep trying to destroy Israel and other things and other people.
Yeah, they Venusians, Merovingians, people from Vermont. Ugh.
We will cut the cost of energy for New Hampshire families in half, and it'll go very quickly.
Why? So you don't believe in states' rights? Because the reason why their costs are higher is because that much higher is because of states, like state costs, state taxes, and the like.
You know, you have the highest energy costs.
No, this shit
Is
again.
anybody here not from New Hampshire? Anybody here like, whoa. Well, we have a lot of travelers. They like.
Yeah, most people aren't, motherfucker. You have the same assholes at every event. And you know what? They can all only vote once.
To hear.
And they're not going to.
They like, and we're not, we do the rallies like once a month, but do those rallies. But, people come from all over the country.
Yeah, it's weird. It's almost like the locals have no interest.
So, man, it's a lot of people because this is really a very select group of people from.
It's a select group of people. Translation, small crowd.
New Hampshire, but a lot of people got in. So, this guy right over here, Front Row Joe, right? Front Row Joe, stand up. This guy, he sees a lot of these,
and boy, you can see him glaze over during this parts like this. It's why you have to acknowledge them because they've heard this shit before and they start dozing off.
We can't get it up because it's just an optimistic.
I beg your pardon. You what now? Sorry, say that again. I missed that.
Front Row Joe, stand up. This guy, he sees a lot of these, and we can't get it up because it's just an optimistic. Look.
So you're saying you can't get it up? It's a weird thing to say in front of a bunch of people, a crowded room of people. As Freudian slips go, just saying out loud you can't get it up is there's a certain level of awkwardness.
Our country's in trouble
because you can't get it up. I'm starting to understand why I think you're running for office. You're compensating.
Really big trouble.
Big trouble. Well, not as big as you'd like to tell people.
Probably like it's never been before, but we're going to make it great again.
Probably like it's never been before. I would take out the probably. It makes you sound wishy-washy. People are going to start thinking you can't get it up.
Make our country great again, but we're going to make it. We really still have that chance greater than ever before. I really believe that. We're going to make it greater than ever before.
We're going to make America great over and over. Magoo!
And so when people like our friends, the Front Row Joes that are traveling all over the country, I don't know what the hell they do for a living.
Yeah, most cult members don't have other jobs. Who the fuck are these people?
They must have a lot of money. You must have been very successful. How many events have you guys gone to?
This is my 67th rally.
How much?
67.
67th rally. That's pretty good.
That's pretty good. You're not anywhere near the other people. 67 rallies. I haven't even been at 67 of my own rallies.
I'm not losing his vote.
Yeah, you got one. You guess what, asshole? You don't get 67 votes out of this dumb motherfucker. You get one. This asshole is taking up the seat of someone in this local area who might vote once for you, which would make 2 votes out of that seat. But you have this dude.
I'm not losing his vote. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
You don't even know what fucking state he's registered in, if at all.
No, he's a great American.
He's a great American who travels the country following me around like a fucking stalker.
A patriot. He wants to see our country do well. But under my leadership, we kept you so safe from terrorists that you
forgot all about it, you fucking lazy fucks.
Never really had to think about it.
Yeah, now you should think about it. Think about terrorism. Think about terrorism.
The Biden came along, he blew everything up.
the Biden came along. Yeah, the Biden came really easily, and here I'm over here. I can't even get it up.
Remember the horrible situation we had with the border, which was a fraction of what it was now, as an example of what it is now. We had a horrible situation with the border. And I came in and I talked about they're coming through, and I mentioned the word rape, and they said, how dare they mention rape? Rape. I mean, the large percentages of the women.
Hey, asshole, you've been found in a court of law to be properly defined as a rapist. Maybe that's why you shouldn't bring it up.
Coming up, get raped.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, because Title 42 allowed people to try as many times as they could to get across, and so asylum seekers would come up here knowing full well that they could try over and over again without it damaging their chances at citizenship. The first time they paid for it, the second time when they got expelled, they'd have to do something else, carry drugs, or pay with sex, or some other shit. That's why. Also, that's not happening in the United States. But tell us again how you get along with the heads of all these countries.
Large percentages. What I said was like baby talk compared to the fact. I mean, I was actually being very conservative in what I was saying, but they couldn't stand it. But when you looked at it and you saw it, nobody's ever seen anything like that. And it sounded really bad to me. I did such a good job that in 2020, I couldn't talk about the border because nobody wanted to hear it because we had no problem with the border.
Because no one was coming in because we had more cases than fucking Mexico. Jesus Christ. Nobody's going to come in and take a job from an American that an American doesn't want to do if they're going to die of fucking COVID in the process.
The border was secure.
Yes, secured by COVID. Thank you. Yes, it's a great idea to just coat the entire southern border with syphilis.
We had no problem. So I couldn't talk about the border. And
sure you could.
I used to say, and I would say maybe it was my biggest or second biggest thing other than the economy and the economics of a country, but it was just about.
Which country would that be? Russia or China or both, I guess?
About my biggest thing. And I said, you know, I got to talk about the border. I got so used to talking about it. They said, sir, nobody cares about the border anymore. You fixed the problem. Nobody cares. I couldn't even say.
You fixed the problem with COVID.
Fixed the problem. People forgot we had a problem. We had a horrible border in 2016, and then we fixed it. I couldn't talk about it in 2020. I couldn't even mention. People start falling asleep. Then, today, you don't mind if I talk about the border because, man, do we have to talk about the border.
I blame the wall. I think, I don't know why, but the wall, apparently you build that wall and it just made it worse.
But Biden canceled my travel ban on terror-plagued nations. He threw open our borders, surrendered to the Taliban. He totally surrendered. What that whole thing was so bad in Afghanistan. That was the lowest moment in the history of our country. Yeah. He gave away 10.
Yeah, no, I'm going to go with like Tuskegee or Vietnam or something like that. Hosing people down during the civil rights era. I would, yeah. But, keep bringing it up because you wanted to stay.
Billions of dollars to Iran, swamped American communities with pro-jihadist refugees. That's a nice term, pro-jihadist. And proclaimed that the
Is it?
number one terror threat was not ISIS or Al-Qaeda.
Domestic terror threat.
But Trump supporters, MAGA supporters, how about that? MAGA is the problem. You know what MAGA is? MAGA are patriots. They're patriots that want to see our country be great.
Even if it means killing a bunch of their fellow Americans.
They don't want women raped on the streets.
They want them raped by their husbands at home or by other relatives and then not be able to get an abortion because there's no exception for rape and incest in the MAGA-driven bills. Yeah, right.
They don't want people mugged and beaten up.
Well, some of them, obviously. They want some people beaten up. Let's be honest.
And they're the people you see at school board meetings begging for sanity in our schools.
And by sanity, they mean religious teachings of a very narrow format.
It's an incredible thing. I watched Biden with that one, remember, with the red background, looked like the devil.
Looked like the devil. See, look at his face. Jealous.
He had that horrible, I don't know, whoever his set designer, the same set designer does the same set of him on the beach. Somebody thinks
The same set designer does the set of him on the beach. You mean God? There's a bunch of QAnons who are like, I knew it. They green screened him. Biden's not even at the beach. He's got an iron lung like that guy in The Big Lebowski.
thinks he looks good on the beach. I don't think so. He hobbles over, he grabs the chair. You know, those chairs are meant so a child can pick them up. They weigh like 4, they're incredible. You can pick them up like this. Here, see this guy walking around. And then he sleeps on the beach all day long. And we have potentially World War III going on. It's horrible.
This motherfucker was golfing instead of meeting bodies coming home at Andrews. Yeah. Of the 96, dignified transfers that happened, Trump went to 4 of them. He stopped going after the 4th one because one of the parents was mad at him. He just stopped going.
Horrible. It's horrible to watch. It's horrible to see. But he made that speech with that horrible red background. Background might have been worse than the beach. That was a horrible, nasty background.
Horrible, nasty background. Jesus Christ.
And he talked about MAGA, MAGA, MAGA. And if I would have said, what does MAGA stand for? He has no idea. Make America great again, right?
We know the word stupid. That doesn't mean it's true. You know, I got news for you. Coke ain't life.
He has no idea. If I would say, what does
Except maybe to Don Jr., I think, it might be required.
MAGA stand for, Joe? You know what he'd say? And then some guy like Chris Wallace would cut you off if it's a debate. Well, that has nothing to do. I said, no, it does. Remember when I said he got $3.5 million with Chris Wallace? How's he doing lately? Not too good. That debate killed him. But what happened is, I said, how come he got $3.5 million cash from the mayor of Moscow's wife?
He didn't. Nobody got cash. The money that was transferred was to the Rosemont Seneca real estate subsidiary that was run by Devin Archer. That money did not go in any way to Hunter Biden. That went to Devin Archer. That went to Devin Archer. That money went to Devin Archer to invest. They didn't get to keep it. It wasn't a payment. She gave it to him to invest in real estate. He invested in real estate, and she made money on the investment. I don't even know why this is a fucking question. He's in real estate, allegedly. He should know this.
And Chris Wallace said, he's not allowed to answer that question. I said, I think it has a lot to do. And Joe just stood there hoping that Chris Wallace was going to win that debate. But it's...
Hoping that Chris Wallace would... Biden won that debate.
It's terrible because, you know, they're protected by the fake news media. I was proud to say that the fake news media today had the worst approval rating in the history of fake news. 34%.
34%. That's up.
I don't believe it's 30.
That is up. Like the news media's approval rating is up. That's weird.
I don't believe it's 34%.
Yeah, it was like 27%. Remember, there was one point where it was competing with Congress, right? That was the joke for a while, that they were both jockeys.
I don't believe it. No, I don't believe it's 34%. There's a lot of cameras back there. It's amazing what ratings do, isn't it? They don't want to cover me.
It's amazing what ratings do. They don't want to cover me. There's a lot of cameras back there. All right.
But if Trump gets twice the ratings of anyone else, we get about 5 times the ratings. If we get much more people watching, it's amazing the abuse they'll take. But listen, they got the low...
I see. So right now, apparently, they're not showing you, even though you would give them better ratings, they're not airing you. Because they want the higher. All right, this is so fucked up.
It's a bad thing, really, because if we had a fair media and honest, but we have the most dishonest media. I saw MSDNC, right? MSDNC, because it's really a branch of the Democrat National Committee. I saw them the other day.
Yeah, we get the joke. It's not yours. We've heard it before. MSDNC, yes, hardy har har. And I think it's good that you understand you probably have to explain what DNC stands for to this crowd. You don't, because even the dumb ones there are smarter than you are.
Biden made that horrible speech. The delivery was an F, and the content was probably
an F minus.
As bad, almost as bad, but the delivery was so bad, and that was it. And I just want to see what they say. What a great speech that was. Isn't it wonderful to have such a wonderful I said, it's crazy. I remember he made a State of the Union speech.
Yeah, if only he could make a speech that's as coherent and well thought out as this one.
It was the worst thing I've ever seen. Stumbling, mumbling.
I've ever seen.
Didn't know where the hell he was.
Where are you right now in this speech?
And then CNN, I watched CNN to see. I like to see what they do. They said that was one of the greatest speeches since FDR. You know, FDR was a great speaker, right? He was a great speaker. He sat because of.
Why did he sit?
Situation, but he was
He sat because of the situation.
Elegant, beautiful, eloquent.
He was eloquent. He was elegant and eloquent, and he sat because of the situation.
You know, FDR was a great speaker, right? He was a great speaker. He sat because of a situation, but
because of a situation.
He was an elegant, beautiful, eloquent and eloquent.
Both. He looked fabulous and he spoke fabulous. It was
that he was a great speaker, and they show him speaking, and rah, America will be great.
America will be great. Yeah, that's a direct quote. Fucking hell. They showed.
We were attacked today. You have to understand.
We were attacked today. Good speech, We were attacked today. Hubba.
Now they showed this guy.
This guy who doesn't know what he's saying. The eloquent or elegant, or what the difference is even.
Who can't put together two sentences. And they say, that's one of the finest State of the Union addresses since FDR. And it just drives you wild.
It does. It drives you wild. Your nipples get hard. You want to just run around the neighborhood wearing your diaper and just with a tennis racket. Wild, I tell you.
Not because of competition, not because of it. It's just so damn dishonest. Let's face it. One of the finest since FDR. At least they didn't say Churchill.
At least they didn't say Churchill, because, hold on. Because Churchill was the shit. Hold on, I got a Churchill here for you. Hold on one second. Is it right there? Yeah.
Winston Churchill stood on the rooftops in London, very calm, making speeches. Winston Churchill.
Uh-huh. Is that the case? All right.
Churchill was one of the greats. Yeah.
Somebody just yelled, he's a puppet. Not Churchill, obviously.
Oh, well, he is. He's controlled by people that surround his desk. I believe that.
People that surround his desk. Now, Trump is saying that because, as we know from Sidney Powell and all these people who've just turned state's evidence, that Trump at one point, his desk was surrounded by these bullshit lawyers, and he's running on an advice of counsel idea. So he's going to say, I was controlled effectively by, in the information that I knew by the people that were around my desk.
In short,
too late. Hold on.
I would say. But in short, Joe Biden has been a nightmare for Israel and for Americans. He's been, as bad as you could be.
Yeah, and he can't even put two sentences together under as bad as you could do. That's as bad as it gets.
But Crooked Joe has been a dream president for radical Islamic terrorists. He's been a dream. And
it says dream.
Absolute dream. Look what they've built. Look at the power they have. They send thousands and thousands of missiles every night. Where the hell do they get thousands of missiles?
You were president. They make them.
Each one is expensive as hell.
No, they are not.
No, but think of it.
I did.
They allowed this to happen.
No, they didn't. It just happened. They didn't allow it to happen. The Israelis didn't okay a bunch of missiles being fired into their country. You fucking turd.
Everything Biden has said for many years has been wrong. He's been so bad on foreign policies. His secretaries of states in the various administrations
Yeah, the peoples and the things with the say the things.
have said he's a disaster. He has terrible instincts, whether regarding the horrible Afghanistan disaster, Ukraine, our completely open southern border. I mean, who would want to have an open border? Or now the attack on Israel. He's been a disaster, but these things never would have happened during the Trump administration.
Yeah, so they wrote that in the actual fucking speech?
Our once great country is in a giant mess.
It's at a giant mess,
Which is not a sentence. Say that again, fuckwad. Hold on. This is so... goddamn. I was not expecting to spend my entire day doing this. Hi. By the way, you're watching Hal Sparks Mega Worldwide. We're just going through this speech because I can't do a show later on, so I thought I'd do an earlier show right now. I got to end at least by 1 o'clock so I can get my shit together and head out for sound check.
Israel, he's been a disaster, but these things never would have happened during the Trump administration. Our once great country is in a giant mess.
It's at a giant mess. I don't know. I think this is one of the greatest speeches since Roosevelt. Irving Roosevelt, who was a, world-class, he had Tourette's. It's a long story.
And you just have to take a look at Europe to see what happens.
You do. Just look at Europe.
If we don't win, Europe is not exactly doing great, because when we do badly, they do badly. We are, in theory, the leader of the world, and we're leading so badly, and they don't care and they don't respect us anymore. They don't.
So fuck them, I guess.
They respected me when France wanted to put taxes on our businesses. I said, you can't do it.
Wait,
and you know the story. I said, you can't.
What the ass? What the fuck? That was just a mess. Back the fuck up. So, something about if Europe doesn't do well, if we don't do well, Europe doesn't do well, but fuck them anyways because they shouldn't do well because they don't respect us anyways, and something trade deal, blah, blah, blah.
Administration, our once great country is in a giant mess.
Is at a giant mess.
And you just have to take a look at Europe to see what happens.
You just have to take a look at Europe to see what happens.
If we don't win,
if we don't win. Win what?
Europe is not exactly doing great, because when we do badly, they do badly.
Europe is not exactly doing great because when we do badly, they do badly. So we have to win. He's not talking about the Ukraine war. I don't know what the fuck he's talking about. No one knows what the fuck he's talking about, least of all him, which is why he's lost and why he will ramble until he gets back to some point that's either in the teleprompter or somewhere else. No one in that audience knows what the ever-loving shit he's talking about right now.
We are, in theory, the leader of the world.
In theory, we are.
And we're leading so badly, and they don't care and they don't respect us anymore. They respected me when France wanted to put taxes on our businesses. I said, you can't do it. And you know the story. I said, you can't do it. There's no taxes on our business.
Did you show Macron a picture of his house?
I said, why are you doing that? He said, Macron, nice guy. Look, he's for France. I'm for us.
Us, not America. Us.
I'm for us.
I'm for us, meaning MAGA and that crowd, which means make America great again, but I don't like the America part anymore.
Hold on. Somebody's questioning my read of how he said this. Hold on.
Our once great country is in a giant mess.
Sorry, beg your pardon. He said, is it a giant mess?
He's been a disaster, but these things never would have happened during the Trump administration. Our once great country is in a giant mess.
He should be saying is in a giant mess. He says, is it a giant mess?
And you just have to take a look at Europe to see what happens. if we don't win, Europe is not exactly doing great, because when we do badly, they do badly. We are, in theory, the leader of the world, and we're leading so badly, and they don't care, and they don't respect us anymore. They respected me when France wanted to put taxes on our businesses. I said, you can't do it. And you know the story. I said, you can't do it. There's no taxes on our businesses. Why are you doing that?
There's no...
He said,
no taxes on our businesses. Which, again, what kind of psycho asks for that kind of special dispensation?
Nice guy. Look, he's for France. I'm for us. I'm for us. You know how you spell us, right? You spell us, U.S. I just picked that up. Has anyone ever thought of that?
Oh, dear God.
Picked that up. A couple of days I'm reading, and it said us. And I said, if you think about it, us equals U.S.
Oh, God. It hurts. It fucking hurts. This asshole thinks he's the first person to put that together? After people have been chanting USA at... holy shit.
Isn't that... Now, if we say something genius, they'll never say it.
Yeah, you haven't yet, so I wouldn't worry about that. That ship has sailed.
We get 25, 30, 40, 50, 80,000, 100,000 people to speeches. They've never said Trump's a great speaker.
Right, because you're not.
Never said. I've never heard it. I said to my people, do you think they'll ever acknowledge I must be doing okay? Except I'm a very handsome person, so I guess a lot of you want to sit. They want to sit and look at me because I'm so, like a beauty pageant.
That's not. I don't even like those kind of jokes because people know it's not true.
No, it's amazing. I mean, the other day in Iowa, we had thousands and thousands. You couldn't get them into this big, big room.
No, you didn't.
And Ron DeSanctimonious had like 22 people. And they said, they both spoke. It's like, it's incredible. But in Brussels this month, a radical Islamic terrorist migrant viciously shot and murdered 2 Swedish soccer fans and gravely wounded a third person.
In a country with 8 billion people? Please go on.
On the way to
in a world with 8 billion people, in a country with, 700, what are they, 70 million?
Sporting event. He did it for fun.
Okay, so it wasn't a jihadi kind of a thing. You just did it for sport? So it's just a random street crime? So you're just pulling a random street crime out of fucking Belgium?
No, did it for fun. In France, a school teacher and father of 3 was savagely butchered in a schoolyard. His throat was slit by an assassin shouting, Allah Akbar.
Allah? Just something in the general tenor of Allah Akbar?
Allah Akbar. And in London, Berlin, and Amsterdam, mobs of pro-Hamas.
Pro-Hamas. People who like bean dip, I don't like it. It gives me the rumblies in my tumblies. I don't like it. It's wrong. Don't even say Hamas.
Terrorist sympathizers cheered in the streets for the torture and murder of children. They were cheering.
For the torture and murder of children. It says it right there.
For the murder of children.
It says murder of children, right? In my little glass pane right there. They said that. It says it right there, and I said it. They said it.
And we have them in this country. I mean, I hate to say it. We have that crazy Talib. We have Talib. Is she crazy? She's crazy.
It's crazy. She's crazy. Just crazy. Slow down. I'm not used to this level, this depth of political discourse. I'm not. A lot of us just aren't familiar with the sort of wonky language of politics.
But you have AOC plus 3. I call them AOC plus 3.
No one cares.
You have AOC plus 3.
No one cares.
And they've changed, and I will say this, they've changed the narrative to a large extent. When you see some of these rallies that are cheering against us and cheering against Israel, think of it. They're cheering like crazy for...
Oh, my God, they're crazy. They're just like the people I saw after 9/11, dancing on the rooftops in New Jersey that I never saw.
For death to America, for death to Israel, and you wonder what happened to our country over the last 15 years. Very dangerous.
Over the last 15 years? What? I don't know. We've always had free speech. I mean, considering this asshole wants to go back to literally a time when the Nazis gathered in Madison Square Garden, I think we're doing a lot better. I would rather people who are, radically outside the norm and have violence in their hearts have to meet in the street and kind of clamor around than to actually be able to rent out Madison Square Garden for a nice, clean rally with big Nazi flags.
The sickness and depravity that Joe Biden and his open borders maniacs want to bring to America, and we will not let them do it. We're going to close it up, and we're not going to let them. And if you want to come into the country, you can, but you have to come in legally. You have to come in legally.
Like Melania. Oh, shit. Like Melania's oh, shit.
A vote for crooked.
Like all the babies that are born, the Russian babies that are born in Trump Tower, Miami. Oh, shit.
Joe is a vote to turn the United States into a hotbed of jihadists and make our cities into dumping grounds, very much resembling the Gaza Strip. Have you been to the Gaza Strip? A vote for
no, they haven't, and neither have you. Very much. So the cities are going to look like the Gaza Strip.
President Trump is a vote to secure the border, and it's a vote to keep radical Islamic terrorists the hell out of our country.
And how would you go about doing that? Because they're not going to come across the border. A lot of them they would fly in, I suppose, or enter through Canada like the last batch.
On day one, I will immediately restore and expand the Trump travel ban. Remember when they said, "Oh, that's so vicious," but it kept us safe.
And yet we haven't had one, and we haven't had a problem either. Maybe it's that they're not coming.
And it passed in the Supreme Court of the United States. They sued me in every different court. You wouldn't believe it. But on entry from terror-plagued countries and halt all of the refugee settlements to the United States. They want to come in. They want to.
He was mid-sentence on that.
Bring the same people that are shooting rockets at Israel. They want to come into the United States.
No, I would say the people who are around the people who are shooting rockets, who don't want to participate in the shooting of rockets, and are sick and tired of the whole back and forth between Israel and the Palestinians, and don't necessarily believe that there are any magic rocks on the earth, and that they would like to live peacefully even within their religious beliefs somewhere else.
I don't think a lot of good things are going to happen. And I will implement.
It's a message of optimism.
Strong ideological screening of all immigrants. If you hate America, if you want to abolish Israel,
what are you gonna do? Put a lie detector on them? Give them all truth serum?
You don't like our religion, which a lot of them don't. If you sympathize,
what would our religion be?
With jihadists, then we don't want you in our country, and you are not getting in.
Oh, okay. So a good portion of your supporters got to go?
Right? We don't want you. Get out of here. You're fired.
He can't even bring himself to say his line twice.
Unbelievably, Ron DeSanctimonious, his campaign, which is dying like a falling bird from the sky.
These are the best words. Dying like a falling bird from the sky. I'm going to go with the bird is dead already if it's falling from the sky. Most of them are pretty good at flying when they're alive.
Did you ever see a campaign that was so bad as this one?
Yeah.
Well, you need
yes,
some
yours.
personality, you know. You can be a
yeah, his is going pretty badly.
Politician, but you got to have a little personality to go along with it. He's dying. I also got him elected, and he forgot
Jesus Christ. Yes, we know. He's your fault. You pick people who suck. It's your gig.
About it, you know. That guy was so dead. I said, Ron, George Washington coming back from the dead couldn't save you.
Well, that'd be pretty scary. a zombie with wooden teeth. Nobody would even recognize him as George Washington.
He said, "Sir, you're very popular in Florida. If you go and endorse me, I'll win."
Oh, God, this fucking story.
And I said, "I don't know. Maybe Lincoln, Washington together could help, but I don't think so anyway." But I gave it a shot because I knew him just a little bit. I didn't even know him well, but he
Yeah, so you want him to be governor of fucking Florida.
was one of the 150 congressmen that would be on television always fighting against impeachment hoax number 1 and impeachment hoax number 2 and other various and sundry other, hoaxes
Right.
and scams and shams.
Right, so it was enough that he just be a kiss ass. You didn't care about anything else about him except he'd kiss your ass, right? You do realize that in and of itself should disqualify you from being anywhere near any real halls of power.
Scams and shams.
Shams or scams, we don't know.
And so he would spend, so I said, all right, look, let's give it a shot. And he went like a rocket ship. And the guy was winning by 40 points or something. He was the Secretary of Agriculture, nice guy.
Yeah, nice guy, somebody qualified.
But I didn't know him, so I didn't feel guilty. I didn't know him. I knew Ron a little bit. So I endorsed Ron, and he went through the roof, and he won. He ended up winning the primary in a landslide. Then he couldn't beat the crackhead that he was running against. And he was getting very bad poll numbers. I said, let's do a couple of rallies because they like me in Florida, and I like the people of Florida.
And they're close because I live there.
And we did some rallies, and they were massive rallies. And I said, you're going to win. I don't think so, sir. Because the guy that he was running against, you know who I'm talking about, he was him and Stacey Abrams, the biggest female in the party, the biggest male in the party, biggest meaning politically, okay? Biggest male in the party. He was going to be president. They said, he'll be president someday.
No.
He's a good-looking guy, but he didn't do too well. And Ron just beat him, but he only beat him because of the rallies I gave. And then 4 years later, they say, will you run against President Trump? He said, I have no comment. He said, no comment. That means he's running, right? When no comment. This guy has no comment. You know what? That means he's a bad seed. That means he's not loyal. There's no loyalty. I did
Yeah, you picked him. Fuck off.
a lot for Florida because of Florida more than him, but I did a lot for Florida. I gave them tremendous money when they have the hurricanes. I always made sure it was there right away and all the different things. I love Florida.
Yeah.
I do it for you, too. I do it for everybody. But when you get somebody...
What difference does it fucking make? If you do it for everybody, that's what you're supposed to do as president. The Congress gives you the bill and you fucking sign it.
in office, that wasn't like I helped him. That was like he was dead. He was at 3% or something. He failed. And the only thing he was successful on is getting me to endorse him. When I endorsed him, he went through the roof. But 4 years later, he totally forgot. So he's a bad seed. So I hit
A bad seed.
him rather hard. And now he is, as I say, like a wounded and very badly hurt birdie.
Jesus Christ. Ah! What the fuck? Every time I think I can get out of this thing and we're bored or whatever, he manages to say something even dumber. A wounded and hurt very badly birdie. And then he makes the hand gesture. What the ever-loving shit is that? What is that? Run
was
that.
like he was dead. He was at 3% or something. He failed. And the only thing he was successful on is getting me to endorse him. When I endorsed him, he went through the roof. But 4 years later, he totally forgot. So he's a bad seed. So I hit him rather hard. And now he is, as I say, like a wounded and very badly hurt birdie falling to the ground.
A wounded and very hurt badly birdie falling to the ground. That's it. Falling to the ground. He doesn't even bother to finish it
So I
out.
hit him rather hard. And now he is, as I say, like a wounded and very badly hurt birdie falling to the ground.
And nothing. Jesus Christ. Somebody owes Howard Dean an apology.
The campaign rapidly opposed
God
my call
damn.
for tough
That's just fucking stupid.
ideological screening on all foreign nationals. He was totally against it. 2 days later, Ron DeSantis flip-flopped and plagiarized my entire plan, just like Bird Brain, the flip-flopped. Who's Bird Brain? Does anybody know who Bird Brain is? Yes, everybody. That name is sort of stuck. Someday I'll tell you why. She said, I will never vote against President Trump. I will never run against President. Remember? Leaving the White House. He's one of the greatest presidents in our history. I would never run against him. 15 seconds later, I'll be announcing my run for president. Where did these people come from? And
you picked them. What the fuck do you mean? First of all, they come from the Republican Party. Secondly, you put them in positions of power. You made DeSantis the fucking governor of Florida and Nikki Haley the UN ambassador, you dumb fuck. It's you. The only thing these motherfuckers have in common is that they're from your party and that you promoted them in the first place.
And she's not doing well, and he's not doing well. Frankly, nobody's doing well except us. We're the only ones doing well.
And by the way, doing well means he has the support of half of his party.
But she flip-flopped. Last week you saw that disaster after proposing to flood America with refugees from Gaza. Oh, that sounds like a wonderful idea, doesn't it? So DeSantis and Birdbrain are too weak and too timid, and politically, we need people that are going to defend our country. Our country is in trouble. We need people that are going to defend our country. And I'm the only candidate who says it with relish. I say it with pride.
I say it with relish.
Put all of us together, but I will.
Hold on.
I say it with relish. I say it not with onions because they have a terrible impact on my outer colon. I say it with ketchup, and that's it. Ketchup and relish. Sweet, and I don't even like the hot dog, just the bun. All right.
We'll be the leader on this. Put America first. We're going to put.
I say it with relish. The fuck are you talking about?
America first. Very simple. Biden puts America last.
Which is the opposite of my phrase. So it must be bad.
Under Biden, 270,000 illegal aliens were detected charging across our border.
Oh, they were detected? So we saw them, we caught them?
It's like an invasion.
No, it's not.
In September alone, it's a record. Nobody's ever seen it. 270,000 is larger than most cities.
And also, no, it isn't. Also, detected.
Millions have infiltrated since he took office. I believe the real number is 15 million people. You hear 3, 4, 5 sometimes. I believe the number is 15 million.
Yeah, but you are literally in court in New York because you exaggerate numbers for your own benefit that have no basis in reality.
Many are terrorists. Many of them are terrorists. Other countries are emptying out their prisons, mental institutions, and insane asylums. They say, please, sir, please don't use the name insane asylum. That's Silence of the Lambs stuff,
Jesus Christ. Your own staff doesn't give a fuck.
Hannibal Lecter was from an insane asylum.
No, he was in one. He was from Baltimore, I think.
They said, sir, that's very tough. Of course, it's true, right? Yes, it's true, but it's a very tough. I said, then I'll say it if it's true. They're emptying out their mental institutions, insane asylums, their prisons, and their jails.
Also, if you're going to just say insane asylums, why are you saying mental institutions? What's the fucking distinction then? Mental institution is the slightly more politically correct version of saying insane asylum is the idea, you dumbass. Nobody is telling you this. Corey Lewandowski is not telling him to cool it with insane asylum.
And you have many, many thousands of terrorists pouring into our country.
No.
And I'll tell you, does anybody want to hear the snake?
Oh, fuck me. At least this means he's wrapping it up. Ugh. I don't know if I can. It's. Play.
Because, we have it, and people...
Really, do you? What a shock.
Well, they always want to hear the snake, but I love it. I think it's so emblematic of what we're going through.
Because snakes, a lot of them are brown.
Because we're allowing people in our country that are going to do great harm to us someday. And we're going to get them the hell out. We're going to have the largest deportation effort you've ever seen.
Deport the snake, O tender woman. Deport them before she bites me on the tit.
But I'll do it because I heard somebody just scream, "Could
No, they did not.
we have the snake?"
No one yelled that. Fuck off. No one did. Wait. Stop. Back the fuck up.
Bring into our country. Hannibal Lecter was from an insane asylum. They said, "Sir, that's very tough." Of course, it's true, right? Yes, it's true, but it's a very tough. I said, then I'll say it if it's true. They're emptying out their mental institutions, insane asylums, their prisons, and their jails. And you have many, many thousands of terrorists pouring into our country. And I'll tell you, does anybody want to hear this?
Okay. He looked right at the teleprompter. It just says, do the snake.
Snake? Because, you know, we have it. And people, they always want to hear the snake. But I love it. I think it's so emblematic of what we're going through because we're allowing people in our country that are going to do great harm to us someday. And we're going to get them the hell out. We're going to have the largest deportation effort you've ever seen.
The irony that he doesn't know he's the snake or that he thinks he's not the snake is not lost on anyone in the audience.
But I'll do it because I heard somebody just scream, "Could we have the snake, sir?" Said, "Have you heard it before?" Yes, maybe 10 times. But a lot of, who hasn't heard the snake?
It's just so awful.
Okay, good. You know, so
Everybody has heard it.
like 25% of the room. So what it is it represents people coming into our country.
I see. Just in case you're not racist enough to get what I'm laying down.
The wrong people. Many
The wrong people, the brown people.
of the wrong, many of the
Some of them, they have red stripes next to their yellow stripes.
people coming in. I would say a majority, because these countries, I know the presidents, the prime ministers, I know the dictators, I know they're all very street smart people. They're not sending their good people.
Oh my God, he's just literally going back to what he said when he came down the fucking escalator.
They're sending others.
They're not sending their best. They're sending murderers. They're sending rapists. They're drug dealers. They're rapists. And some of them, I assume, are good people. It's the same shit.
But they are emptying out their jails, their prisons, their mental institutions.
No, they're not.
And they're coming into our country. We're like a dumping ground, and nobody does anything about it.
It's almost like it's not true.
And we are going to be suffering for a long time, but we're going to get them the hell out of here. We have no choice because no country can sustain this. Forgetting about just the crime danger, which is tremendous. You see what they're doing to the cities, what they're doing. They're
What are they doing? It's not fucking illegal immigrants. The murder rates and all this kind of stuff that, they're going down, but also it's not immigrants.
ravaging the cities. And you know, these cities, some of these liberal guys, they're all liberal Democrats running the cities, and it's incredible. They're putting them in luxury hotels. They're putting them in the finest hotels in the world.
No.
And our veterans,
Obviously, so they're not in any of the Trump properties. Weird.
are sleeping out on the street, dying, okay? So this is very emblematic.
Yeah, that's what Democratic mayors do. They usually do. They kick out veterans out of luxury hotels where they were staying, and they replace them with illegal immigrants, mostly terrorists and lunatics.
And we'll go and just have a little fun with it. What's fun about something so bad? But we got to make the best of where we are.
You gotta make the best of all we are. Remind me again, say something again about how Biden can't put two sentences together.
Because in November of next year, we have to win that election. We can't play games. And you're going to go to those polls, and you're going to make sure you don't see boxes pouring in and votes pouring in and people with wheelbarrows carrying votes all over the place. On her way to work one morning, down the path along the lake, a tender-hearted woman saw a poor, half-frozen snake. His pretty colored skin had been all frosted with the dew. "Poor thing," she cried, "I'll take you in, and I'll take care of you. Take me in, O tender woman, take me in for heaven's sake. Take me in, O tender woman," sighed the vicious snake.
Oh, vicious, said the word vicious.
She wrapped him up all cozy, in a comforter of silk and laid him by her fireside
To cook him with her milk.
with some honey and some milk.
Oh, so she was going to make soup.
She hurried home from work that night, and soon as she arrived, she found the pretty snake she'd taken in had been revived. Take me in, O tender woman. Take me in for heaven's sake.
You're already in. What the fuck are you saying? Why are you saying this? You don't mean in my vagina.
Take me in, O tender woman, sighed the vicious snake.
He's already...
She clutched him to her bosom. You're so beautiful, she cried. But if I hadn't brought you in by now, you truly would have died. She stroked his pretty skin again and kissed and held him tight.
Yeah, okay, so she's a crazy person.
But instead of saying, thank you, ma'am, the snake gave her a vicious bite.
Jesus Christ. He's missed his calling at the public libraries, teaching children to fear reading.
Take me in, O tender woman. Take me in for heaven's sake.
He's bored with it already. He's bored with the chorus bugs him.
Take me in, O tender woman, sighed the vicious snake.
After he bit her? That's a weird thing to... It's getting a little kinky.
I saved you, cried the woman, and you've bitten me, but why? You know your bite is poisonous, and now I'm going to die. Shut
Jesus Christ.
up, silly woman, said the reptile with a grin. You knew damn well I was a snake before you took me in.
Right? Right? What a perfect analogy for someone like me. And the, oh shit.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, it's something like I would read it to the Republican Party. I would maybe... the first thing that... The snake was frozen, you say, and he was outside in the cold situation. Okay, how did this snake end up in the cold outside in the first place? Usually they will, when the weather turns cold, they'll go into they'll burrow into the ground, or they'll have some... Okay, so somebody obviously dropped that snake along the way, so this was a murder plot. Secondly, she wrapped them... Was she coming back from Bed Bath & Beyond, where she had this silk comforter with her? And obviously she had to take it out of the plastic to do it, but she put him... Why honey and milk? Was she delusional and thought he was a kitten? Because I just don't know that that's snake food, per se. You know, maybe she fed him a mouse inside her house, something like that. And then she went to work. Obviously ambulatory. What does she do? She probably, answers phones at, or works as a product engineer at Garmin, or, has a side... She's got a side hustle. She was a hustle. And she's exhausted, obviously, or when she picked this snake up in the first place. And then she starts cuddling it because she's not only mentally deranged, but a pervert as well. And so I think she kind of is the idea that she had it coming and the snake knew it. Now, the snake, obviously... I guess he lived inside her carcass for a couple of months and they found her dead. But then he went outside, and since he's a stupid snake, he froze to death.
We know what we're getting. The prisons, the mental institutions.
The zoos, obviously. The reptile cages.
When it happens, you're going to remember the snake. We don't get in, we're not going to have a country. Let me tell you, we're not going to have a country. So we have to get in. We have no choice. Upon my inauguration, it's our inauguration.
Also, we're going to get rid of these snakes.
I will terminate every open borders policy of the Biden administration.
There are none.
Begin the largest domestic deportation operation in American history. It's no wonder the
starting at Mar-a-Lago.
Far-left lunatics are getting desperate to stop our movement by any means necessary. Do you ever see where they say, we want to run against Trump? These are disinformation, misinformation people. Very small difference, but I'll give them both. Disinformation, misinformation. Every poll has me leading.
Did I drop off for a second? Sorry. Did I go? Did I... am I up? Sorry, I'm seeing this in the chat. Reload your page. Can you see me? Hello? Does Ellie have the worst internet coverage? Probably. I'm probably, overstayed my,
Biden by a lot. Leading the Republicans by 60 points, but leading Biden by a lot. In fact, the Washington Post had me leading by 10 or 11 points, and they said, we think this might be an outlier. They couldn't believe it. They spent a fortune on a poll, and it says Trump is leading, which they don't like to hear. I don't even know why. Why? What do we want? Low taxes, great schools, great security, great military, great this. Why wouldn't they want us, okay? Everything's the opposite. We want strong borders.
Oh, fuck, this motherfucker's gonna do April Fool's Day.
Everything is the opposite, so you almost wonder why. I mean, unless they just want our country to be destroyed. But think of it, why wouldn't they? Why wouldn't they? Everybody should be for this. We want great education. Look at interest rates. Your interest rates now, you can't get any money. Anybody trying to buy a house? You trying to buy a house, don't bother. Because you can't, the banks don't give you money. They don't have money, a lot of them. And the interest rate's over 8%. And I had it at 2.3% for a long time, too. Remember, I had a jawbone. The Federal Reserve. I had to jawbone that guy.
I had to jawbone that guy.
But crooked Joe Biden and the radical left have weaponized law enforcement to arrest their leading political opponent. Nothing like that's ever happened before.
Okay. I think we're done for today because we've covered so much of this shit, and apparently my signal is giving out. I think it's just rejecting the idea of doing more of this dickhead, and I've got to go do sound check. So I love you guys. I hope you enjoyed this special report. Sure. And it's stable again now, right? Just as I'm doing this. And I will see you guys tomorrow for our regular shows. I'm gonna see if I can arrange I'm gonna meet with Phil later on. I'm gonna see if we can arrange to be in the same room together for the show. I'll see if I can pack my shit up and bring it with me, and maybe whatever. If not, I'll bring him in like usual, and we'll have our regular morning show. Anyways, love you guys. Take care of yourselves. See you again soon. Oy, there's so much. Okay, gotta go. All right, bye. Thanks so much. Don't forget to like, subscribe, give a thumbs up, support the show. Patreon.com/HalSparks and all that kind of stuff. Okay, bye.